It's Kate.
And Oliver
Hudson.
Host of the new podcast, Sibling Revelry. That's right.
We started this show because, you know what? No one talks about siblings and that dynamic.
The siblings, they know each other better than anybody.
Yes.
You know.
Listen to Sibling Revelry on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hi, I'm Frances Fry.
And I'm Ann Morris.
And we are the hosts of a new TED podcast called Fixable.
We've helped leaders at some of the world's most competitive companies solve all kinds of problems.
On our show, we'll pull back the curtain and give you the type of honest, unfiltered advice we usually reserve for top executives. Give us a call and we'll help you solve the problems you're stuck on. Listen to Fixable on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Episode 247, How to Save Money on Food, Takeout Edition.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast, where you'll learn to save money, embrace simplicity, and live a richer life. Here are your hosts, Jen and Jill.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast. My name is Jen.
My name is Jill.
And this is the second time we're recording this episode. So I forget the banter we had the first go around. But I think it went something like, I love takeout and I eat it at least twice a week.
It's better the second time, kind of like those leftovers of takeout that you keep in your fridge and it can just simmer and marinate a bit more. And it's just
Sometimes.
better. It's better the second day.
Chipotle is not better the second day.
Oh, that's true. The lettuce gets real wilted. Yeah, you'd think. Here we are, 4.5 years in. You've heard us do this before. We're probably in the double digits now. Technology issues still happen. So here we are, recording again.
It's okay, guys. I got a new computer. I bought this episode had cost me so much money. But we're not here. That's why I'm going to need to save a lot of money on my takeout for the next year. And I'm here for this episode even more than I was the first time we recorded it.
Yeah, you know, there were some retractions in the previous episode. I'll tell you when we get there. So I am kind of glad for this next one. I'm like, oh, I can correct that.
Yeah. So we're going to need these sponsors even more than we did before, including this one, which is not a sponsor. But this episode is brought to you by Hurricane Ian Relief. So our neighbors to the south were 45 minutes to an hour south were devastated by Hurricane Ian. And it's really sobering for us because that was supposed to be us. Until 24 hours before landfall, that was supposed to be us. And so we really have our hearts go out to our neighbors in Lee County and just Fort Myers, Naples, Charlotte. And we want to do whatever we can to help. We are frugal so that we have margin to help others. And we hope you will join us in this effort. So we have decided to match all donations up to $2,500 for the next 2 weeks. And if everybody listening gave $1, we would hit that max. We would max out today. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening to this on the day it releases, max us out today. Let's do it. Give $1. And you can give that at frugalfriendspodcast.com/Ian. And that goes to the Southwest Florida Emergency Fund. And they are an organization, a local organization located in Fort Myers that does this work consistently. And they are now just focusing on the hurricane relief efforts, but they're well established in the community. And we like the idea of giving to organizations, but organizations that are hyper local. So frugalfriendspodcast.com/Ian. There is not a good way for you to denote us in the actual donation process. I tried it out yesterday. So if you just want to take a screenshot in your it'll send you 2 confirmation emails. You don't have to forward. You can forward it to frugalfriendspodcast@gmail.com if you want. It's going to have your address. So if you just want to take maybe a screenshot of how much you gave, send us that, and we will match for the next 2 weeks up to $2,500 every donation that we get. So frugalfriendspodcast.com/IAN.
So thrilled to be doing this. And we so appreciate everyone who did reach out to us through email and on social media, checking in, knowing that this hurricane was supposed to hit the Tampa Bay area. And like Jen's saying, it took a turn south in the final moments. And again, crazy devastation happening there. I think the last episode that we recorded, we didn't yet know what was happening. We were evacuated and we were just about to lose power and uncertain what was going to occur. And now in recording this episode, we have seen what has occurred. And like you said, Jen, just super, super sobering and wanting to help. Like, we have family and friends in that area. And right now, there's still flooding. There's no emergency responder, only first responders are allowed into that area right now. And it's really hard to get to even. So the best thing to do at this point is send money. I know a lot of people want to drive down donations or send donations, but what they really need is money to be sent to the organizations that are already on the ground, bringing in the supplies that are actually needed as they can see what the need is. So if you want to join us in those efforts, please do frugalfriendspodcast.com/Ian. And we are just thrilled to match that money that you all also donate. Thank you for your care for us.
Yes. So let's talk about takeout. We'll move from that sobering experience to one that's hopefully a little lighter. Hopefully your takeout spending doesn't sadden you as much as hurricane devastation. Hopefully it is a source of joy for you, or it can be a source of joy. Getting takeout can be something that's exciting that you don't have to feel guilty about, and you just have to do a little prior planning. And so if you are geeking out about how to save money on food in general, a few other episodes to queue up would be episode 214, How to Save Money on Groceries, where we dive into specifically groceries. And then episode 92, I think we did a updated version of this one, but it's the same episode. Episode 92, Reducing Food Waste with Debt Kickin' Mom. She is fantastic and had some really great tips for reducing the amount of food that you throw out. So let's get started. We're going to divide and conquer. So our first article is going to be about meal delivery. So like takeout delivery, which seems to be a really more popular way to do takeout. And then the second part is going to be just on takeout in general. So it's going to have some delivery in there, but like mostly just takeout in general, whether you're picking up or having delivered. So what did you think about this first one? 5 meal deal delivery tips to save money.
So this was my retraction from the first go around of recording this episode. I love this article. It actually comes from a restaurant in Australia called Cucina Dolce, but I originally thought that the restaurant was in Canada. So, correction, it's in Australia.
I didn't catch that.
Not Canada.
I did not catch that.
But I love this because it's written by a restaurant telling you how you can save money on meal delivery. And it's not from someone who's trying to undercut local restaurants, but a restaurant themselves saying, here's the best thing that you can do if you're trying to get your food delivered to your home and save money. So the first one is to avoid using third-party sites or apps. You will hear us talking more about these third-party apps throughout the episode, so we're not saying cut this out entirely, but if we are talking about ways to save on takeout delivery, this is going to be a really primary key way to do that, because what we're seeing happen, and I'm sure all of us utilize food delivery throughout the pandemic. We saw a huge uptick in that. But what has happened is those third-party sites do charge the restaurants a portion of their sales. It's not as if we're just paying some money to the third-party site. They're also charging the restaurant. So whatever it is that you've purchased from the restaurant, they need to then pay a percentage to that third-party site. So now the response of the restaurants has been, we need to up the price point for our menu items that we put on the third-party sites. I'm sure many of you have noticed when you go into these sites, this would be like your Uber Eats, your DoorDash, your Postmates. Oftentimes now restaurants have different menus and higher prices on their menu items on that third-party site. And then you're paying the delivery fee and the tip and all of that. And we do encourage that. If you're using the service, tip the people. But the best way would be to go through the restaurant themselves if they offer that. Many restaurants do offer delivery, and oftentimes that means you can order off of their menu at their prices. They don't have to upcharge if they're not paying a third party for it. And then that money saved can then go towards, the tip of the restaurant, the tip of the driver from the restaurant. So that's a great way to support the local restaurants to save some money ourselves, but then also be helpful for the restaurant themselves.
Yeah. And we're definitely not against the third-party apps. Sometimes you just got to use them. Sometimes there is no restaurant with their own delivery around you. So we get it. But if it is, just check before you go straight to Uber Eats or Postmates if you know where you want to go. Second is to take advantage of cash back on your credit card. So this is a little bonus. I don't view credit card rewards as a way to save money. They are a bonus. If you are saving you want to focus on saving money first, because credit cards can oftentimes get us into this place where I'm getting cash back, I'm getting rewards, so maybe I'll spend a little bit more so I can get more rewards. That is a downward spiral if that is your mindset when you are using cashback rewards and travel hacking. This is not the mindset we're looking for. We're looking, how do I optimize and still get the best deal, the best price for what I really want? And then I can add a little bit more by choosing the right credit card, because different credit cards will offer different cash back for either meal delivery, like third-party apps, or just buying from restaurants in general. So you can have, the Chase Freedom Flex, I believe it's called. It is a really great starter credit card. Highly recommend to anybody trying to get started with travel hacking or building credit in general. And it is a no annual fee. And every quarter, they do a different 5% cash back. And sometimes it's on delivery apps. Sometimes it's on restaurants or dining out in general. So you can look at that, look at what the next quarter is going to be. And if you're going to be buying takeout anyway, using that card to do it, and then you get 5% cash back that you can use on your bill or for gift cards or whatever. 5% tends to be, it's high range for cash back. Usually you're going to see 1%. If you're paying attention and the card is prioritizing restaurants or delivery apps, you could see 2 or 3%, but that's why it's like a bonus. We're not focusing on it really. So you can take advantage of that. Or you can use a program, like a rebate. It's not a rebate app, but like Dosh. It's an app where if you purchase, you link your credit card, so you can use a rewards credit card, link it to Dosh, and some of the restaurants that are in Dosh that are connected there, you get an extra 5% cash back in there too. So you can kind of like double it up. But yeah, so just look at your credit cards. Don't consider it a way to save money. Consider it just like the icing on top.
Mm-hmm. I love that perspective, to look at it like a bonus. If you're already planning on getting takeout, this is something to check into, not a reason to make takeout an entire lifestyle because I'm quote unquote saving money.
Yeah. And you can also, some of the credit cards will have complimentary year trials to, or 30 days or something to, like a Postmates Plus or a Grubhub Plus or whatever the Uber Eats equivalent is. So also check to see if your credit card offers that as a feature too. Or if you're kind of trying to decide which credit card to get, you can kind of look at the one who's offering what when.
Yeah.
And then that could lead you there.
I know Chase Sapphire Reserve offers that. I believe it's with Uber Eats, the $0 delivery. So they take care of that.
I think my Bank of America card does Grubhub Plus for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look into it. If you're not aware, sometimes we get credit cards based on one main key factor that we're excited about, and we kind of miss some of the peripheral bonuses that they give. So definitely look into what the bonuses are if you do use credit cards.
Yeah. Take as much from the bank as possible and give them nothing. Like, take as much as possible while giving nothing in return.
And that's just a bonus.
Is my motto. That's my motto with credit cards.
Yes. Exactly. Make them wish they never approved you.
Yes. Make them regret it.
Number 3 on here is choose pickup instead of delivery. So obviously this is more of how to save just on takeout. And of course, it's a way to save on delivery if you're not getting it delivered and you are being your own delivery driver. I will say, for me personally, this is my big reason for getting takeout, is getting it delivered. Oftentimes I will go to a sit-down restaurant or I'll cook at home. And if I'm getting takeout, it's usually because I just don't want to leave my home. So that's like, it's difficult for me to say, oh yeah, I'm going to order it, but then I'm going to get in the car and go pick it up. But this is the best way to save on takeout, by not sitting down, not paying for the delivery, but getting it yourself. What I have seen can work for me is if I can think ahead, and I'm already out. So I know, Jen, you and I will do this when we get together. We will often get takeout when we get neither one of us. Sometimes we will cook. It's like, all right, what do you got? What do I got? Let's
I'm a pickup
mash
person.
It together.
I never get delivery. I am a pickup person.
And I love that about you. It's just not true for me. But if we can think ahead and say, okay, I'm on my way to your house. Let's pick a restaurant that is en route and let's get the order in now. I'll leave in 10 minutes and I'll pick it up along the way. That's perfect, rather than just showing up at the other person's house and then making the order and then you got to send someone out. So if we can just implement a little bit of forethought, that helps in this. And if not, Jen and Travis come over and Travis is always willing to go pick up that food.
Always.
And I love that about him.
Always. We are pickup people because you do save a hefty amount, like a hefty percentage of your purchase by picking it up yourself. And you can, do a single, you can't tip the restaurant when you order delivery. You're tipping just the drivers. You're not tipping the people at the restaurant putting your meal together. So if you can cut out that middleman, then you get to, just tip one person, and just have your food. You be there before it's ready so you can bring it straight home so it's still hot. Like I know sometimes when I order delivery, it's not super hot by the time it gets to me.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a quality thing as well as saving money for me. But yeah, we are always willing to pick up. Because we also, I mean, having a young child, the idea of sitting down at a restaurant is often torture. So we do it so little that it's not a big deal for us to go drive. And we have so many places so close. So that's a unique thing for us. It may not work for everyone, but yeah, I mean, I'm a huge advocate.
I'm kind of all or nothing. Because if I'm going to get in the car to go out, like, then I want that to be worth something. I'm going to go sit down at a restaurant because I don't have young children.
Yeah, that is a big difference between us.
Just to come back
That
home.
it is an enjoyable time when you go eat out at a restaurant.
Yeah,
it is enjoyable for you. It is not enjoyable for, but
so
also
sorry.
I realized a long time ago that actually sit-down restaurants aren't in my values.
Yeah.
My values lie in not having to do dishes and not having to cook. And so for me, I don't need to have the experience of sitting down at a restaurant. So that's something, even before we had Kai, that was something I identified that I don't need to pay the extra to, have the drink and have the app and, have that whole experience I'm perfectly fine with takeout.
And for me, I don't do takeout a lot. So when I do choose to do it, honestly, it's probably once or twice a quarter. And it's in my values and budget to say, I'm going to pay someone to deliver that food to me because that's true convenience for me. So yeah, there's freedom. Choose what you want.
Yes.
Save money how you want. Save on the things that don't really matter to you.
Yes. 4 is they recommend to order in bulk. And I like what they're saying. Again, this is a restaurant saying this. But they say if you are maybe one person, you can order 2 meals, thinking ahead, ordering in bulk. And you still only do 1 delivery fee, but you get more food. I think a better way to save money would be to, and we'll talk a little bit about this in the next article, but to maybe just order a larger portion of one meal or just the regular dinner portion of something, cut it in half. And if that's not enough to satiate you, then add some chips and salsa or something comparable because most of the time my takeout is Mexican, but just add something, and then you have the other half of that meal for later. So, and most of the time, that's going to be a fine choice. So that for me is bulk. They're also saying like bulk order, like almost catering for gatherings and special events. And yeah, I mean, if you're having something catered, I mean, definitely a lot of the times they'll include delivery already. So I don't know why you would have to worry about that with the delivery app, but you can also just pick it up.
So true. I do love the idea though of you order it one time, and even if you do get delivery, you pay the fees, you pay the tip, but you're maximizing the fact that you've paid the delivery and you've paid the tip to get a good amount of food that might last you for a while. So it really feels like you made the most of the money that you spent and maximized some of the convenience of it to potentially provide a few meals for the rest of the week. So I do like that idea.
Yeah, it could be if the restaurant has some kind of family style, like, mega entree for multiple people. This could be the time to do that.
Yeah. And I would, if you're going to do that, I would encourage to get the food that you know is freezable. So that'll be, if it's from an Italian restaurant, like your eggplant parms, your lasagnas, things like that can freeze real decent. Just if you know you're ordering a lot, make sure that it's something that that isn't Chipotle where you're going to have wilted lettuce the next day. Like the types of foods that could sit in the fridge for a couple of days or be frozen so that you minimize the food waste. And last but not least, a way to save on takeout is to not do it at all. Number 5.
I love that. I love when the last one is just don't
do it. Yeah.
Don't.
The way that they're saying don't do it is by making your own takeout, which is true. This is a great tip. It's not like we don't know this tip, so I'll say it again. We can prepare ahead of time for the days when it's super chaotic and we don't have time, we don't have energy, we just can't think straight, and we can just grab food. That's typically why we're doing takeout. So if there are times in our lives where we are just blessed with extra time, I don't know exactly when that happens, but sometimes the stars align and you make extra food, freeze it, put it away for those days that you need something simple, easy, quick to grab. Sometimes I will even, we all know make extra entree and put that into the freezer, but even like a portioned out meal where in a little glass container, you're doing the main protein, the side, the veggies into one size serving glass container that's easy to pull out and reheat as here's the meal, here's the takeout meal. Or if there's times when you've gotten takeout in the past that you can freeze some of that and you know it's takeout that you enjoy and it's already sitting in your fridge. Or your freezer. This is one of those, think ahead, anticipate, know that this is coming, like an emergency fund, an emergency freezer full of yummy takeout food, prepped and ready. That's how you save. That's how you save money.
AI might be the most important new computer technology ever. It's storming every industry, and literally billions of dollars are being invested. So buckle up. The problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power. So how do you compete without costs spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other clouds, offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing. And of course, nobody does data better than Oracle. So now you can train your AI models at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other clouds. If you want to do more and spend less, like Uber, 8x8, and Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/strategic. That's oracle.com/strategic. oracle.com/strategic.
Discover the heartwarming and hilarious world of sibling connections on Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson.
You might be asking yourself, what is sibling revelry?
Yeah, well, we just made it up.
They'll have some laughs and maybe inspire some people along the way with universal tales of what it's like to grow up with brothers and sisters.
We're full-blood siblings, the only full-blood sibling.
In our family. Well, not in the world. I mean...
No, in the whole world. That's just it. Like, no one...
Dive into family tales and explore the human mind with guests like Joel and Benji Madden.
And it's fun because we've decided to open it up, to really like all kinds of different siblings. And it's going to be an awesome season.
It's more than a podcast. It's a celebration of the ties that bind us. Listen to Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Beautiful. Speaking of food, so we've talked about how to save money on the delivery. Let's talk about how to save money on the actual bill, the food bill. So we've got 18 ways to save money on restaurant food delivery and takeout. We are not going to go through all of them, but we will go through our favorites. And the first for me is to choose cheaper items. And hear me out, because we hate the C word, cheap, not choose. We love choosing. So this one is so weird to me. They give the example from IHOP. And I'm like, why would you be getting takeout from IHOP? IHOP is where you go when there is nothing else available to you at 2 a.m. That is why we go to IHOP. That is why we love IHOP.
Or when you're on like a road trip in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. We do not crave IHOP for dinner. And
sorry, IHOP. You do serve a purpose, but they know where they live. They know their category.
They are not trying to be anything they're not. But if you do crave IHOP, you're clearly not alone with this author. So he uses, I assume it's a he. I'm just going to, oh no, it's Amy. Amy. All right.
Amy lives in central New Jersey. So
Amy lives in central New Jersey. I don't know what that means, but okay. So
my people from central New Jersey know exactly what that means.
I'm so sorry, I don't. Okay, so near Amy's house in central New Jersey, there's an IHOP where sandwiches cost around $10, while hot dinners like chicken, steak, seafood cost between $11 and $15. And she says it's not a huge difference, but it can add up. So to choose the sandwich instead. I will push back on this because a sandwich meal is often smaller than a hot dinner like said chicken, steak, seafood. And so you are typically only going to get one meal out of it. Should you get the larger entree that costs a little bit more, maybe you're getting the chicken entree that's $14. Yes, you are paying $4 more, but you could get 2 meals out of that. Add chips and salsa, and then you've got 2 meals for $7 each. So, and then you could, I would say, maybe instead of choosing the steak or seafood option, maybe you stick to the chicken or the vegetarian option and then choose, like shop at the grocery store for your nicer cuts of steak or go to some kind of butcher somewhere for your seafood. So you can still have your premium meats, but maybe you choose not to do them from IHOP and you choose something a little simpler.
You are giving great tips. I love the idea of getting your more premium cuts from the grocery store, making them yourselves, getting your chicken takeout. I just can't. It's great tips, Jen. Love what you're saying. I cannot get over this IHOP thing, though. Seafood. I am Googling it.
This is really getting you.
Does IHOP sell
oh my gosh.
seafood? And
Absolutely.
like also the next question in line is, does IHOP have Dr. Pepper? Which like valid, but
much more likely to have Dr. Pepper.
I just need to remind all of us that IHOP stands for International House of Pancake. Is it plural? International House of
yes.
Pancakes.
Plural.
Okay, so pancake, a singular pancake, pancakes, but seafood.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to the International House of Pancake?
Let's not judge. We have a diverse listening crowd.
I know.
Let's not judge.
So I'm not saying like who's okay. I did just say that. I don't
Somebody
mean that.
in central New Jersey.
Why is IHOP, International House of Pancakes, selling grilled tilapia and ceviche? Also,
they do not sell ceviche.
Yes, they do. They're 9 IHOP secret menu items. I'm getting deep into it.
Oh,
Patagonian prawn ceviche at the 24-hour diner. Here's another thing, maybe unpopular opinion from me. I don't do seafood delivery to my house. Like that's just a rule of thumb for me. I'm not getting seafood delivered. I'm going to pick that up myself. I am going to pick that up myself.
Good to know.
And for me personally, it won't be from IHOP.
Yeah. I mean, there is no shade on IHOP.
No.
Props to their marketing department. Do you know their loyalty club? You get rewarded for your purchases in pan coins. And it's the and you put your pan coins in the International Bank of Pancakes. And the pan coins, quote unquote, are like their cryptocurrency for rewards. It's a brilliant marketing. Whoever came up with it,
I guess I would just say they're doing extra, and good for them for going above and beyond.
IHOP is doing
I would expect breakfast and pancakes from them. I would not expect ceviche.
Yeah.
At all.
Well, let's move on. This is not how to save money at IHOP. Could be.
Could be. Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Okay.
And please do not talk about IHOP.
I won't. Okay, number 3, unless she talks about it, but Amy. So number 3 is split a dish. I do love this one because this is just how I typically live my life. Even if I'm going out to eat, I split a dish. But particularly with takeout, if we're looking to save money, usually the portion sizes that restaurants give are much larger than what one person needs. Realistically, I get it. Takeout's tasty. Sometimes we gobble it all down. But if we can split the dish, whether that's with ourselves, with someone else in our household, a friend, a family member, whoever you're with, consider splitting it. And obviously, you can connect the dots on why that would be less expensive. And especially if you are just one person, what you can do is you get that takeout, you bring it home, and you immediately, before putting it all on your plate or digging in with your fork, split it before you even begin eating. Put the other half into the fridge, and you have given yourself an amazing gift for the next day, or put it in your freezer and you're being kind to yourself next month. What I will also do, since takeout is usually a specialty thing for us, or even going out to a restaurant, Eric, my husband, and I will often split, but then that we feel like that can give us some license to get maybe a smaller appetizer, something that's a little bit less expensive, but adds some variety to the meal. So we'll split an entree, but then we'll get something that's $4, $5, $6, $7. That's a nice appetizer that can also help to stretch the meal. So there's another little tip. Try my trick.
Yeah, try it. Unless you have wildly different dining preferences,
so true,
Travis and I. Yeah, then you don't split. Then you split it in half. You save the other half for yourself for the next day.
You split with yourself.
It's still great. You split with yourself. I'm all about splitting with myself. That's how I live my life. All right. So the next one for me is to hit the grocery store, and stay with me. So, gosh, I went so deep into this the first time we recorded the episode. I don't know if I can get as deep and passionate with it, but so we love going to Publix and just picking up some of their deli food and bringing it home. Sometimes it's even better than getting takeout from a restaurant. So I love their non-breaded wings. They've got really good sandwiches and pub subs. So the pre-made sandwiches are good too. Soups, all kinds of things. So here's my, let me break it down. Let's break down the grocery store hierarchy.
Yes.
So we got 3 tiers of grocery.
Well, I guess there is a hierarchy.
There's a hierarchy. So we got 3 tiers, and you can put whichever tier on top that you want. My top tier is our economy tier. You've got your Aldi, you've got your Walmart. We do not put Save-A-Lot here. Save-A-Lot does not get to be in a tier. It's not in the hierarchy. It's over here to the side. I'm going to
have to hear later on why you're saying that.
So if anybody has ever have you walked inside a Save-A-Lot?
Yeah, I have. It feels like walking into an Aldi.
No. Oh my God. Don't insult Aldi.
Look at us.
People are offended.
We got IHOP and Save-A-Lot on blast right now.
Yeah. So you've got your economy tier up top, your Aldi and your Walmart. They have some good takeout stuff. You can definitely get by. And then you got your mid-tier. Mid-tier is where we live. Like, if I want to get takeout, but I don't want to go to a restaurant, I will go to my mid-tiers, like my Publix's. I don't know what's beyond Publix. I don't know what's outside of Florida. I think a Kroger.
I've never been anywhere
I think that
else.
could be mid-tier. I've never lived anywhere. I have lived other places.
Food Lion, Giant.
Anywhere with a deli. These are our mid-tiers. Our mid-tiers have a deli, but they are not our bougie tier, which I put at the bottom, which is our Whole Foods. So you're not gonna pay $10 for an apple kale salad, a side of apple kale salad, not a huge salad. So that's where we are at Whole Foods, but we're sticking with our mid-tiers, like our grocery stores that have a deli.
The radical middle of the supermarkets.
Yeah. It is an option where maybe you don't do your regular grocery shopping there, but you want takeout. You don't have the budget for like a restaurant takeout. And here you are. There is your Mecca. You're welcome. This is my solution.
I mean, I'm with you on this soapbox, Jen, if there's room for the two of us.
Absolutely. There's room for all of us.
Thank you. I think we forget about some of the pre-prepared foods that grocery stores offer that can give us that similar convenience of takeout, but for a lot less cost. One of my favorite, and this would be more on that guilty pleasure side of meal options, but Publix, for those of us in the South, has really great fried chicken and perfect for chicken and waffles. So on one of those days where I'm like, I don't want to be spending a ton of time in the kitchen, and also I want some comfort food, chicken and waffles with the fried chicken from Publix is amazing.
And last time I mentioned Walmart has these these breaded chicken tenders frozen that are just like this peppery goodness. I don't know what's on them, but they are seasoned and they are also perfect for chicken and waffles. I have some in my freezer right now and also perfect. So the one caveat to hitting the grocery store, you got to be with me. You got to be laser focused. You cannot go in there for takeout and come out with $80 of impulse purchases. It's counterintuitive.
Yeah.
This would be a part where if you have a 90-day, if you could do like a 90-day free trial to like an Instacart Plus or like a Walmart Plus or one of those like free delivery things, this is the time to use it.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Also included in some credit cards, but also I was just on like the T-Mobile Tuesday app and you get 90 free days of Walmart Plus with the delivery.
Yeah.
So they exist. You gotta be laser focused. You can't walk out with impulse purchases.
Yes, ma'am.
If you do this. Okay, that's it.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Right.
Alternatively, plan for it. Know that your week is going to be hectic, chaotic. Add it to your grocery shopping list. So get some of the pre-prepared meals for convenience and cut out food delivery takeout that week because you've already gotten the pre-prepared food. So there's a lot of options here, folks. All right, number 6 and 7. I'm going to rip through these quick because
it's too much time.
We did talk about and your like tiers of grocery stores.
Those are important.
That was good.
That's important.
I'm here for it. So 6 and 7 are just talking about delivery fees. So I know we talked a lot about delivery already, but do check for what the delivery fees are on the different third-party apps. If you are choosing to go that route, it can be pretty drastic. Like one site may offer $2 delivery fee, whereas another site might be $10. That's significant. So make sure that you've done some comparison, especially for your area, what the delivery fee is going to be. And of course, look for free deliveries. Sometimes the first time that you sign up with an app, you get a free delivery, or they'll be running specials at various times. So if you are in one of those positions where you're like, today's the day, I need my meals delivered to my house, make sure you check those things.
And I'm going to combine my last two. So check your mail and search online. So check this, that kind of combined because you want to check your email too and your apps. But look for coupons, look for sales going on. So this helps with two things. First, when you are trying to figure out what to eat or where to get takeout from, if there are too many options, it takes too long, you eat peanut butter and jelly. Honestly, not a bad idea.
No.
But using and committing to specials, discounts, coupons will drastically cut down the number of choices you have from like 1 million to 2 or 3. So that can be really helpful. I know that's always a struggle we have. You can also, I subscribe to Creative Loafing. So for us in the Tampa Bay area, it's cltampa.com, and they do kind of like 50% off deals where you can buy a $40 gift certificate to this restaurant for $20 or a $30 gift certificate for $15. So stuff like that. So that's probably my favorite way to cut down on choices and to save a lot at restaurants. And the way I stay on top of all these, I won't have all the apps on my phone all the time. I will have the subscriptions though to the emails, and I put them in unroll.me. So that way it sends everything to me in one email. I do not have the subject lines attacking me in my inbox every day, trying to get me to spend money at the restaurant. I can choose to look at that quote unquote roll up email daily or whenever I want. And nothing is attacking me. So I really like that way. You don't have to like subscribe and unsubscribe. I know that's like the first, like how to save money, unsubscribe from everything. No, sometimes you can save money on things you were going to buy anyway. And that's the goal. But it can also be a result in impulse spending very easily. So Unroll Me has allowed me to stay subscribed to the places that offer me the discounts I want. But I choose when to see them. So
I do love that one. It minimizes what's in your inbox too, cleans it up.
And you can, when you purchase online, so when you're doing some of this stuff virtually instead of calling in or going in, there are actually app-specific and online-specific deals that you can get. And you can even, like where Dosh is really good for shopping in-store using a credit card, Rakuten can offer cash back at certain places too. So frugalfriendspodcast.com/Rakuten. If you're not already on there, I think you can get right now like $30 like of cash back if you use that link. So yeah, there are a lot of pros to using the online resources.
My final tip on here is number 14, which talks about utilizing discounted gift cards. So especially right now, as we're approaching the holidays, many restaurants will offer their gift cards at a discounted rate. So let's say you buy a $50 gift card for $40, you're saving $10 on food bought at that restaurant. So whether you're getting gifts for other people or you're just getting these gift cards for yourself to use throughout the year, if you know you've got a restaurant that you frequent and you're going to be going to, or is a great spot to do takeout from, this can be a really proactive way of saving money. You've also got your websites like restaurant.com that does a similar thing where you can search restaurants in your area and purchase those discounted gift cards. You can also use sites like Raise, and you can visit them at frugalfriendspodcast.com/Raise. They give gift cards. You can earn gift cards through their website. So just thinking about ways that we can maximize that type of resource for saving money on some of these convenience things that we enjoy.
Yeah, I think Raise might give you $5 bonus cash to use there. I'm not 100% sure, but check it out. frugalfriendspodcast.com/raise. You can buy discounted. I've bought several discounted gift cards there. And if for some reason one doesn't work when you try to use it, you can return it. And that's happened to me before, and there's no problem. But yeah, typically they work just fine.
Awesome. You know what else works just fine?
Every
It's
single
always
time.
top of mind.
And it's always a great value.
The bill of the week.
That's right. It's time for the best minute of your entire week. Maybe a baby was born and his name is William. Maybe you paid off your mortgage. Maybe your car died and you're happy to not have to pay that bill anymore. Duck bills, Buffalo Bills, Bill Clinton. This is the bill of the week.
Hi, Jen and Jill. It's Kyle here from the United Kingdom. My bill of the week is my mortgage. So over the last 2 years, I've paid off over £17,000 in credit card debt, which has meant that we've been able to get a better mortgage. And it means that we're moving to an island off of Scotland. So we're moving to our dream home, and having that debt paid off has meant that I'm not worried about the mortgage bill that comes through every month. So yeah, that's my bill of the week. Keep up the great work. Thanks, guys.
Wow, Kyle.
Holy smokes.
You are living the dream. And isn't it crazy how significant paying off credit card debt can be to increasing a credit score and making the cost of loans more affordable? So even if you're not going into getting more loans, it can lower the cost of loans you already have and provide this like freedom for you. So well done, Kyle.
Kyle from the UK moving to an island off the coast of Scotland. If that just isn't the dream. And what a win-win across the board. I'm so thrilled to have heard this bill, and I'm also, just slightly jealous of what's going on there.
She is.
But
got a jealous face on.
Also, wow, you put in the work. There's been a lot of intentional effort there. I didn't even know that one could aim at moving to an island off the coast of Scotland, and now I'm readjusting all of my life plans. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Kyle, for calling and listening. We love your bill. If you all listening have a bill, whether it has to do with lowering your mortgage and paying down debt so you can move to an island in the UK, I mean, call us. Love to hear from you. But if it's just normal debt payoff, just like your typical debt payoff, we also want to hear from you too. You matter. Visit frugalfriendspodcast.com/bill. Leave us your bill.
Discover the heartwarming and hilarious world of sibling connections on Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson.
You might be asking yourself, what is sibling revelry?
Yeah, well, we just made it up.
They'll have some laughs and maybe inspire some people along the way with universal tales of what it's like to grow up with brothers and sisters.
We're full-blood siblings, the only full-blood sibling.
In our family. Well, not in the world. I mean...
No, in the whole world. That's just it. Like, no one...
Dive into family tales and explore the human mind with guests like Joel and Benji Madden.
And it's fun because we've decided to open it up, to really like all kinds of different siblings. And it's going to be an awesome season.
It's more than a podcast. It's a celebration of the ties that bind us. Listen to Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the studio who brought you the #1 podcast, The Piketon Massacre, this is Murder 101.
A group of high school students started a project to research a string of unsolved murders.
Those murders happened in the mid-1980s.
He's out there doing stuff. He just didn't stop.
Everything that the students predicted through their profile turned out to be accurate.
Redhead killer profile.
Male, Caucasian, 5'9" to 6'2", 180 to 270 pounds. Unstable home, absent father and a domineering mother. Right-handed, IQ above 100, most likely heterosexual.
There is no profile of this killer except for the ones the students created.
Just because some of these women no longer have people to speak for them does not mean that they deserve to not be spoken for.
What if this guy's still alive? Like, what if he comes after us?
I said, are you going to kill me? And he said, yes.
Listen to Murder 101 on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And now it's time for the lightning round. Pew, 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 pew.
Wow. Ooh, you.
I'm going to have to clean my microphone after that.
Yikes.
I'm getting out, after that bill of the week. There's just a lot going on inside of me.
So much. Okay, we are resetting, and we're here for this lightning round, the vulnerable part of the show, where we today are talking about our favorite treat yourself takeout food. And I think we've got two good ones. Jill doesn't agree with mine, but
yes,
I love food. Jill doesn't love food as much as me. So anyways,
that is so unfair. That's so unfair and unjust. And here's why. I love food. I think, here we go. Here's your salacious vulnerability. I think I'm more of a foodie than you are.
You are more a quality. You are more concerned with quality. I am more concerned with quantity. And this is why Jess and I said you're not invited with us to Vegas when we go see the Titanic exhibit, because you would not find as much value in the all-you-can-eat buffets.
Okay. Yeah. No, yeah. None of that sounds good to me. I'm not going to Vegas for buffets. No. That's not going to happen. Yeah, that's a weird thing. Like,
I know.
I think you talked about Titanic reenactments at every. No, that was Orlando. I can't keep
we'll
it
talk
straight.
about that.
We'll talk about that later. Okay.
Anybody who's interested can hear about this later.
I love food. And you get me talking about food. This is one of my favorite episodes. That's why I'm not mad that we had to record this episode twice, because you get me talking about food and it's my best day. What you're confusing, Jen, is my lack of value for dessert. I can enjoy sweet things. I'll have a bite of it. I'll eat a piece of chocolate, but dessert is not where it's at for me. Now, don't get it twisted. I like food, but I'm here for that salty, buttery, carby, starchy, thick.
You do love bread. You love bread.
Thick.
I think you're confusing food with bread. You just love bread. Which I don't hate for you. I also love that for you.
I like the hot, saucy, spicy, buttery, thick food. And you know what that's found in? The treat myself takeout for me is Indian food. I don't know what it is. I will go to Indian restaurants, but for some reason I have an association of Indian food is takeout for me.
We've never gotten Indian takeout, and that saddens me.
Probably because you couldn't handle
never done that.
How ham I go.
I couldn't handle ham?
No, I don't.
I'm not a big ham fan, but no, I can get.
They don't typically sell ham. Anyhow,
I ate so much Indian food when I was a vegetarian. I ate it so often.
I'm not worried about saving money when I get takeout from an Indian restaurant. Like, this is where I will say we're getting all the things. We're getting the garlic naan, not just the regular naan. We're getting the samosas, the veggie ones and the meat-filled ones. And we're getting all the sides and the yogurt and the chutneys and multiple types of curries. and the rice.
Support.
And sometimes even the dessert, because Eric likes these like little dough balls soaked in honey. There's a term for it. I'm forgetting. Indian food, bringing it back home, doing the spread, lighting a candle, pouring a glass of wine again, all of that spicy, salty, buttery thickness. Mm-hmm. I'm hungry now.
Yeah, me too.
What about for you, Jen? What's your treat yourself takeout?
I also love Indian food, but my treat yourself takeout food is Thai food. I love a good medium spice pad Thai with tofu or chicken, depending on the mood I'm in, with a Thai iced tea. And if you've ever tried to make those things at home, then you know that Thai iced tea is impossible to recreate at home. Are you kidding me? And then pad Thai just costs $75 a plate to make at home anyways, so you might as well get it out. And that is really, we have this place on the beach that we'll, get the takeout from. I'll split it in half, immediately put one half in the fridge, and one half will fill me up. And I just love it with my Thai iced tea. Sometimes, if there's sushi at the restaurant as well, which very often there is, I'll get myself a little roll too, maybe a seaweed salad. That is if I'm going ham. So, yeah, that is my treat.
I love this. Go ahead.
You just don't like pad Thai because you are more authentic Thai because you've actually been to Thailand. I've been to the Thai restaurant.
I love Thai food. Jen, I don't know if you remember this. I'm sure you do. The very first night we met, we went to a Thai restaurant. I know we love to talk about those shots on the beach, which did happen, and we shared a plate of fries. Mm-hmm. But then after that, we went to a Thai restaurant.
Yes, we did. And
I love Thai food.
Yeah, it's a
just
good one.
The one thing I will not get from a Thai restaurant is pad Thai. I think it tastes like alfalfa. And like you said, I've had it in Thailand, still don't like it there. I'm here for all the curries, green curry, red curry, massaman curry. Love the way that they make the vegetables.
More
Love
of a noodle girl.
A papaya salad. That's spicy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If they
I
do
love
it
a little
right.
spice in my food. Mm-hmm. And I will get my food a little spicier so that nobody else in my family will eat it. Because I have a higher spice tolerance. And if I get it
Jen.
a little spicier, then I get it all to myself.
Yes, Jen. And that's
So,
a
tip.
different kind of tip.
It's a pro
Not totally a saving money tip, but a keeping all the food to yourself tip. Increase your tolerance for the things that the rest of your family members don't enjoy.
Mm-hmm. I did think of one more in the 20 hours since we recorded this last time. The jalapeno sausage roll from Fray's.
I do love that.
Love that.
Yeah.
With a jalapeno sausage roll, with a double chocolate cake donut, and a small cappuccino with 1 raw sugar. It puts me in a good place. And I'm supporting a coffee shop that isn't too bougie for its britches. Because if I see one more bougie coffee donut shop in the city, I will cry. Initially, I will scream and then I will cry.
I feel attacked.
You love a fancy coffee shop. You do. I do. That is you.
I do.
And I love Fray's is just local. Right. They're all local, Jill. They're all local.
And I especially like it if they roast their own. Get a nice light roast pour over or a cappuccino. I don't go often, but if I'm going to get coffee out, it's going to be good. And the environment is going to be aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. And Fray's is good coffee. It's not like Dunkin', which some people love Dunkin'. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so it's good quality and
I'm so sorry. We've had to say I'm
not
so
trying
sorry.
to be.
So many.
I'm so sorry for having opinions.
Businesses.
Fray's. And people know I love Fray's. I have a picture of Fray's sitting on my desk, like an art. And so the city loves it too. It's a local treasure. I don't want to see it go out of business. I gladly support it with my money, and it supports me with its sausage rolls.
Love that.
Done.
Now that we've tempted all of our audience enough with all this talk of takeout, put it in your budget. Afford what you value. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Many of you do know that we have a private community where we do monthly money challenges. It's a really fun way to kind of gamify our personal finance. We also offer accountability groups so you can know and be known by others that can help you in your financial journey, paying off debt, saving money, wherever you're at. And we want to congratulate one of our members for a big win. This is so exciting to me, Vanessa. Oh, here we go. She says, my husband and I have made major changes in our careers, resulting in a loss of $3,000 a month in our household income. Needless to say, we've been trying to reduce our expenses to afford our new lifestyle, but with a little bit of creativity, we've really been enjoying ourselves. We usually visit one country per month with our daughters for our culinary world tour. So visit is in quotes, kind of like a way within their area to visit. This month, they were supposed to go to a Turkish restaurant, but it's Culture Days in Alberta, and the Turkish Association in Edmonton is organizing a free Turkish brunch. The stars have aligned for you, Vanessa. I'm honestly so grateful for our new life. We make less money, but the benefits of this new lifestyle are huge. And here we go. We're going to rattle off a few. I'm less stressed. I'm actually happy to go to work. I have enough energy to work out. I do my chores during the day, so when my kids come back from preschool, I'm fully present for them. I can catch up with friends who also have flexible schedules. The list goes on and on. When you talk about designing your dream life, it speaks so much to me. I can't believe a year ago we started the value-based challenge, and it has had an impact greater than I expected. I could not be jumping out of my seat more in reading this to myself and now out loud to all of you. I think, we live in such a time where personal finance, so much of that culture is hustle culture and make more and earn more. And that can be awesome. And that is the right path for some. But we've also got this other side of the coin of figure out what matters to you, what money you need to make to afford that lifestyle, and find the freedom and flexibility. I think it sounds shocking to read. We plan to take a cut in our salaries, and here's what it has allowed for us. And we've been able to do that because of some of the frugal lifestyle things we've put into place. Like it's like I couldn't summarize what frugality and the aim of frugality is more than what Vanessa has chosen for her lifestyle. So congratulations, Vanessa. This is so inspiring.
Yeah, it's never either or. It's choosing to afford a life you love on whatever money you make and however long you work. That's the goal. However long, like many hours per week. That is the goal. And Vanessa, we always geek out seeing your progress. So Thank you so much for sharing.
And if you're inspired by this, you want to learn more, check out our monthly challenge community at frugalfriendspodcast.com/club. See what kind of money games we have coming up next.
Money games. We'll see you next time.
Frugal Friends is produced by Eric Sirianni.
Okay, Jen, I feel like it's worth recreating our post-show because you were telling me crazy stuff. Pick up where we left off.
About the Titanic dining experience?
Yes.
I'm not the only one that loves Titanic. Okay, so when I was at the gym one day, they have an icebreaker question, and it's what is, like, if you could open a dream hotel, what would it be? And mine was a Titanic themed hotel where it's all first class, and because we don't do classism, so we're all first, and there is a daily recreation of the sinking. And that's a little macabre, I know, but I just thought I love it. And so I was like, and I told our friends, Jess and Joseph, when they were at dinner the other night, and I was like, there has to be, like, that has to exist. Not the hotel, but the recreation thing. There's so many Titanic exhibits, like 4,000 artifacts floating around, above the sea. There's got to be something. And there is right in our backyard in Orlando. You can go to the Titanic exhibit and experience a first-class dining, like multi-course meal with the captain and the unsinkable Molly Brown. And then at the end of dinner, there's a recreation of the sinking using lines from the movie. And at the end, you can see if your person that you were assigned at the beginning of the night lived or died.
Only in Florida. Like, this is so chaotic and reckless.
No, it's not. It's
fun. What? You're recreating someone's like worst trauma and /death experience.
Yes. When I watched it on YouTube, I did feel some type of way about that.
Like you're sinking it. It's a cardinal sin, I think, to like in a crowd yell fire, right? And like create mass panic. But that's like their plan. That's their dining plan, is like, let's feed them and then like get people trampled in this recreation of the sinking.
You move in an orderly fashion with a band playing you out to the boiler room, and then it's kind of taking you through like the events of the movie almost. And then women and children get to leave and men die at the end of the dinner. Yeah.
This is just it's too much for me to wrap my mind around. But I'm glad I know about it. Like, the depths of humanity are always interesting to me. But also, fun fact, lesser known fact, is I used to be a thespian and I did plays, and I was in the community play one time of the Titanic. And I was this wealthy, young, pregnant woman named Madeline Astor who boarded the Titanic as a first-class passenger with her much older husband.
Mm-hmm. I remember. I knew it. I was like, it's on the tip of my tongue. It starts with an A. Madeline Astor.
And in this community,
much older, rich husband.
In this community production, I was probably 17 when I did this, and I played Madeline Astor, 5 months pregnant. And similar to real life, I was partnered with like a 42-year-old man from the community who played my husband.
Oh, this was in a community
I was like, play. Yeah.
Where did they find a teacher
not
at high school?
No, community play. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So that's my connection to the Titanic.
Cool.
I recreated it in a stage production, theater production. You just want to recreate it over dinner for funsies.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds bad. Okay, I don't know if it's the most ethical way to spend your time, but I'm a big Titanic fan. And
That's so interesting.
Yeah. If you are a man and you attend the dinner with an infant, you can at the end go, I have a child. And then they let you leave. But all the other men die.
I mean, eventually they do let everyone leave, right?
Yes, Jill, everyone gets to leave.
I don't know. It's Florida. I don't know.
Jill,
it's a lawless land. And I love it. I do love it. I love it for how reckless it can be sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we hit our requirements.
Mm-hmm. Discover the heartwarming and hilarious world of sibling connections on Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson. Dive into family tales, explore the human mind, and laugh with guests like Joel and Benji Madden. It's more than a podcast. It's a celebration of the ties that bind us.
And it's fun because we've decided to open it up to really like all kinds of different siblings. And it's going to be an awesome season.
Listen to Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Frances Fry.
And I'm Ann Morris.
And we are the hosts of a new TED podcast called Fixable.
We've helped leaders at some of the world's most competitive companies solve all kinds of problems.
On our show, we'll pull back the curtain and give you the type of honest, unfiltered advice we usually reserve for top executives. Give us a call and we'll help you solve the problems you're stuck on. Listen to Fixable on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.